Good afternoon, everyone. Let me first recognize Chair Darden Rice, Vice Chair Wheeler Bowman, and Ed Montanari from City Council who are with us here today. I want to thank all of you for being here and for helping us to communicate to our residents. My thanks in advance to my city team. Behind me, you see a lot of members of our team, some of the more visible city officials working for the city of St. Petersburg, but please know there are a whole lot of hardworking public servants all across the city of St. Petersburg today who are doing really important work and trying to help not only our city, but our residents of our city be as prepared for this event as possible. I saw a lot of them firsthand last night at both Bartlett Park and at JWK Northwest, where we were handing out sandbags. So, the purpose of this press conference is to share pertinent information and set some expectations, regardless of where this storm eventually tracks. First, you will notice we are standing here on the shores of Lake Magori, and we are standing here because this is an area of concern, and communicating with and protecting the people in these neighborhoods and in all of our neighborhoods is paramount. So I want you to just think about this. The residents who live right in this area behind us here, they are literally sandwiched between this large lake, which is directly behind me, and Tampa Bay. Just a few blocks north of here, you have a large mobile home park. So this is really an incredibly vulnerable area. And along with this, we have several areas throughout the city which are basically like ground zero. Places like Shore Acres. In a minute, I'm going to have Claude Tankersley of our Public Works tell you a little bit about what we're doing to try and mitigate the effects of the storm. But let me just say this, first and foremost, our priority is saving people's lives. That's job one. Yesterday in Houston, the body of an infant that was swept away in the flooding was recovered. An infant. I cannot bear for that to happen here in St. Petersburg. And so public safety is job one. Our Office of Emergency Management is following the forecast of Hurricane Irma very closely. We are working with our partners at the National Weather Service and Pinellas County's Emergency Management to ensure that we have the best and latest information to make informed decisions. Now, our residents can help by heeding our advice and heeding the advice of county and state guidance. And they can help by doing several things. And this is really for you folks, the residents in St. Petersburg. First, sign up for Alert St. Pete. This will allow us to better communicate with you. That's www.stpete.org/alertstpete. Follow us on social media. Our police can be followed at St. Pete PD, our fire at St. Pete FR, Public Works at St. Pete PW, and the city is at St. Pete FL. Non-emergency requests for assistance may be submitted at our C-Click Fix site, which can be accessed at www.stpete.org/action, or you can do it on the St. Pete C-Click Fix app. Residents can also call 727-893-7117. Let me give you that information again, folks. If you need assistance, you can submit at C-Click Fix at stpete.org/action on the C-Click Fix app, or you can call us at 727-893-7111. 893-7111. This is really important. Have a plan. If this storm were to track west again and comes into Tampa Bay as a Category 4 or 5, having a plan could be the only thing that truly saves your life. So you need to start planning now while you have the time for what you would do if this storm starts tracking west and really threatening us in a significant and serious way. The other thing that I want to encourage you to do is if you've got valuables, things that are really truly important to you, now is the time to put them in a container that you can grab easily when you need to take off and get out. Do not wait. Do not wait, because if you do, you are going to leave something behind that is going to be valuable to you, and you are going to regret it. Don't rely on sandbags. If we have a Category 4 or a 5 storm, a sandbag is not going to save your house. And while they're important and they can help slow down flooding, it will not save your house if we have a Category 4 or 5. So you've got to plan. If you've got things in your yard, including political yard signs, take them out. Clear your yard of any furniture, anything out there that could become a flying object. Clear your own storm drain. If you see a bunch of leaves or pine needles in a storm drain, please don't wait for us to come out and do it. Be a help to us. Get out there and do it for us. Now, our building department is also reaching out to all of our construction sites to ensure that the materials on those sites are secure. I want to encourage you also to take photos of the outside and inside of your home. If this storm hits us and your home sustains damage and the personal property inside sustains damage, that's going to help you when it comes time to making a claim. If you have laundry or dishes that you need to do, please do it now. This will help us conserve water in the future. And you don't need to buy bottled water if you have containers or jugs at home. Save your money. Our tap water is just fine, so fill them up, folks. When the wind and rain starts, stay off the roads as much as possible. This will keep you safe, and it will allow our first responders to do their jobs better and to do them safer. Avoid flooded areas. If you see an area that's flooded, please turn around. Floodwaters can kill. 2 people died in Sarasota last week. If this lake behind me overflows, it's going to be very difficult to tell where this parking lot ends and where the lake begins. So let me repeat that again, because we see it far too often. Avoid flooded areas. Just turn your car around, go in a different direction. If you're driving down a flooded road, please be mindful of your speed. Your weight can send water into someone's home. I've been out too many times and seen cars flying down roads, and you see that weight go out and it's going right into somebody's house. You wouldn't want them to do it to you. Please think about that person who lives in that neighborhood that's surrounded by water. And now let's talk about infrastructure for a moment. And I'm going to have Claude give us an update. But obviously our capacity to treat wastewater is a priority to me. And we will do everything within our power to ensure that sewage is properly treated. But protecting people's lives and ensuring our community is safe during this storm is the priority for all of us. And so now I'm going to let Claude tell you where we are regarding our infrastructure and public works projects. Claude, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I stand here before you today not speaking for myself, but speaking for 650 public works employees for the city of St. Petersburg, who are also your friends and neighbors. And I can tell you that these 650 employees have been working extremely hard over the past 12 months to prepare us for the storms, and this is the storm that we've been preparing for. We've been putting a lot of effort and work into not only preparing our wastewater systems, but our water systems, our stormwater systems, streets, and working on flooding issues. And I'm very proud of those 650 employees. We also have had a dozen or so contractors and engineering companies working with us. We've had a lot of people focused on this moment. We have added approximately 30 million gallons per day peak capacity to our wastewater system, as we had promised we would do last October. We have 2 new injection wells ready to be used. We have new filters online ready to be run. Our staff met for the first time in preparing for this storm. We actually met for the first time last week on Friday. We have been watching the storm throughout the Labor Day weekend and preparing. We've been lowering the levels in our tanks. We've been testing the pumps to make sure they're operational. We've been testing the equipment to make sure it's running well. We've been clearing out any storm drains that we knew needed to be cleared out and preparing everything for us to handle this storm that's ahead of us. So I just want to again thank those employees who have worked so hard to get us to this good point. Mayor made some really good points though about water usage and behavior during the storm. it is really important during the storm that we minimize water usage so that we can handle as much of the flows as possible that comes back to us. So therefore, please wash your clothes now. Don't wait for the weekend to wash your clothes. Please run your dishwashers now. Don't wait for the weekend, please. And if you do your part and we're doing our part, we will be able to get through this storm. We have been delivering sandbags, and we appreciate all the volunteers that have come out to help us. We have 6 sites open today that are serving, and will be serving until 8 p.m. tonight. And we have 10 sandbags per vehicle that we've been giving out, and we're very happy that the citizens are taking this seriously and coming out and getting the sandbags. We have had long waits, and I regret that, but it shows that people are willing and ready to come and get the sandbags, and we're willing and ready to help them out. So I just wanted to make sure that the citizens and everybody knew that we are prepared. We've been prepared for the last 12 months, and we will get through the storm. Thank you.
Thank you, Claude. One of the things I didn't mention before, and I think it's really important that I do mention, is there hasn't been a decision yet as far as any evacuation orders coming down. But I do want to be very clear about this. If the order to evacuate does come down, please take that seriously. We don't take it lightly. Issuing orders to evacuate, the county doesn't take it lightly, and we don't want you to take it lightly either. If we're asking you to evacuate, we're doing it because we care about you and we want to make sure you are safe. I can't stress that enough. We wouldn't ask you, and we won't ask you to evacuate unless we feel your safety is at risk and it is necessary to protect you. So please take that seriously if that order does come. Now, I am convinced that storms like Harvey, Irma, rain events like we've seen over the past 2 years will only become more common, kind of a new normal for our planet. The city of St. Petersburg, for the first time in our history, is doing a dual stormwater and wastewater master planning, and this will be a big part of our resiliency planning as we move forward. Well, the last thing I want to mention, and then I'm going to invite Council Chair Rice to come to the mic, is we know this is a stressful time for everyone in the city. And so one of the most important things I can ask you to try not to do is please don't panic. If you plan and you do some of the things that we talked about today, you will be prepared in the event an evacuation order does come down. Bottom line is you'll be prepared for this storm. It's really important that we remember that there's a lot of people who are nervous, and there's a lot of people who are working really hard right now to try and ensure the safety of everyone. So let's just try and be kind to each other. Let's think if you have to go get a sandbag, that the people who are out there bagging that sand for you, they're putting in a lot of time and effort because they want to help you be safe and they want to help your property be safe. Just take a moment and think about the hard work that's going in to get prepared for this, and just try and be kind to people. The last thing that I want to encourage everyone to do, and I don't know if it's made a difference or not, but I think if we have 260,000+ residents of the St. Petersburg and we're all praying that this storm heads east, maybe we can keep pushing this thing east and it'll go back out into the Atlantic and won't hit anything. That would certainly be the best case for our entire state. So I just want to encourage everybody to say a little prayer this storm heads east. And maybe if we have 260,000 here in St. Petersburg doing that and throughout the state, this storm will go away. So with that, I'd like to turn the mic over to Darden Rice. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. As Chair of City Council, my colleagues and I join the Mayor and our public safety officials in asking the public, please, we implore you, do not underestimate the dangerous conditions of this storm. Please take the steps to prepare. Safety's first. As you all know, the governor recently declared a state of emergency, and because safety is important and preparing for this storm is paramount, I have made the decision to cancel our 10:30 St. Pete City Council meeting tomorrow along with the 6:30 p.m. budget public hearing that was scheduled for tomorrow as well. As we know what will be rescheduled, and as we get through this storm, stay tuned. We will make sure to let everyone know, and it will be on the website as well. Thank you, and please be safe.